Morning, students. Sorry I can't be with you today, but I've left a little bit of work and I've recorded a few presentations that look at different models or theories of human resource management that you can use in your assignment. Right? Remembering that part of the assignment, I might just jump in and have a look at the task sheet, part of the assignment is comparing a couple of those. So let's grab that out and double check that is, and then we're going to look at the first of these models, which is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And how we would actually apply that, like what are the things that come out of that. So we're now at the evaluating and communicating management strategies. So we have to suggest two human resource theories. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a theory that would fit in there, and decide whether they can be implemented. Right, so we're thinking about how expensive would it be, what impact does it have on motivation and satisfaction, what impact does it have on business profit, health and safety, and the impact on innovation. I think a good way of evaluating using these criteria might be to set up a little grid and make some comments that compare the two theories you choose. So one of those theories could be Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So let's have a look at the textbook to start with. Now, so table 6.2 is where we're looking at. Right? And it says that there are a series of different needs, and we meet these lower needs first before moving on to higher ones. So our basic need is physical, right, first of all. Shelter, food, water. If we don't have those things, we don't think about moving on to higher needs from there. Then comes safety, we need to feel secure. Then becomes social, wanting to be part of a group. Then comes esteem, wanting to be recognised, to achieve things, and self-actualisation, right? Fulfilling our potential. Let's look at what these mean. What are the examples for human resource management that we might have? So your physical needs is that you're getting paid sufficiently and you're working in an environment that is reasonable. Right? You're not being asked to work out in the rain and the cold or anything like that. Safety, the big one that talks about here is job security. So this is the idea that if people know they've got an ongoing job, that they're more comfortable in that environment. Belonging, teamwork, having a good relationship with your managers, having a good relationship with the other people you work with. I think a sense of belonging also might lead to knowing that you're doing some important work. Esteem is the next one. Right? So this is all about recognition. How well does an organisation recognise good work? That might be in things like a rewards program. It might be in things like, you know, the managers just taking a group of people who've done a really nice job on a project out to dinner. Maybe there's a company newsletter where they write stories. Southwest Airlines, for example, has a newsletter, and they often put stories in the front about staff who've done a great job looking after customers. And this last one, interesting jobs with creativity and self-development. Now, I started last lesson talking about the fact that Subway was going to be the example for the assignment that I would use. And I think this is a really interesting example for Subway, if you look at the human resource elements of Subway. If you remember, there was some thought that people were not getting paid sufficiently. So some of these basic needs were not being met. Safety, there are a couple of interesting things. One of the things is working in a small store at night when you come to leave and lock up and manage the money. That can be a little bit difficult. You know, maybe there's some human resource management strategies that can be put in place there to make people feel a little safer. Often you're working in small teams. We said this was a real problem when we did our analysis. Right? So this belongingness is something that Subway could look to develop some human resource strategies to improve. And you know, when you were making sandwiches all day long, there wasn't a lot of opportunity in a small store. There wasn't a lot of opportunity for this esteem. You know, maybe they could look at having more people taking on responsibility between stores at like a regional level. Maybe there's some extra tasks that could be done. You know, maybe some time could be spent giving some of their high-performing staff duties like creating rosters, looking after the employment of people, perhaps more training. So thinking of ways that they can improve that. And the same, this development of potential. And you wonder how that can be done in a subway type environment, but McDonald's has done a really interesting job with their kind of McDonald's University and the opportunities that they provide. So that gives you an idea of how Maslow's hierarchy of needs sits as a theory, right, and how you could use that as one of your theories in your assignment.